Hey guys, welcome back to the Ron Williams YouTube channel. Listen guys, I'm going to talk to you about something that's a little more personal. I had a question that was asked, and that question was, Ron, tell us about your military experience and how you served the country. And I thought that's a little different type of question, but interesting enough. I said, I'm going to answer that question. Well, let me tell you, I was in high school when military recruiters came to me and they said, hey, you want to go serve your country? And I thought, serve my country? Are you kidding me? I'm just in high school, man. And they said, well, when you get out of high school, you know, we can enlist you now and get that commitment, and then we can move you straight into the military. And at that time, I was a little angry, bitter. You know, my mind wasn't right, and I just didn't have things together. And to be honest with you, it was one of the greatest decisions that I had ever made. And I didn't realize that when I made that decision that the military would ultimately change my entire life. I went into the military. The first place I was stationed was Nuremberg, Germany. I went over here, you know, and I'm amongst Germans. And remember, this is back in 1980. There were not very many people that I ran into on the economy that spoke English. So these people were, you know, they were German and they spoke German. And I was so insecure at that time that just being around this new culture was a brand new experience. It was very intimidating for me. So it caused me to mature and grow in a way that I would have never been able to mature and grow where I'm from. And you guys that know me know that I'm from the ghetto, and that's a culture inside of a culture. And I was limited to this culture. But now that I'm, you know, I'm not just out of my city, out of my state, I'm out of my country now. And so I'm exposed to some things that I'm not generally exposed to. To be honest with you, I grew up a lot in the military. I learned discipline. I learned how to protect my fellow man. It wasn't dog eat dog. It wasn't, you know, I'm going to protect me and mine. You know, I had to protect the guy that was next to me. I had to love that person enough to be willing to die for them. Now, when you're in the military, you're fighting for your country. But when you're in that foxhole, you're fighting for the guy that's next to you. And you want to get back to your country. You want to get back to your family. So to make a long story short, I learned a lot about who Ron Williams is when I was in the military. Those of you that didn't know this, I played 4 sports on an international level, and I started that in the military. I ran track for the military. I boxed for the military. And back then I was so angry. I had what they call a killer instinct, where I went forward, never went backwards, never went side to side, always forward. And I protected my head, and you could have the body. Whatever you wanted to do with the body, you could have it. But if you reached down to touch my body, my whole thing was, you will pay. You will pay. So I boxed for the military. I swam and dove. I did the platform diving. And if you look up Mr. Universe Epic Belly Flop, you'll see me do a belly flop, but later on you'll see me do some of the diving that I did for the military. I ran track for the military also. And then I started in my sport, bodybuilding. That's where I got started, was in the military. So the military was so good to me. I mean, I look back on those days, and at the time it seemed tough, but those were some of the greatest days of my life, serving my country, guys. So I hope that tells you a little bit about me and where I'm from and where I got my my start in bodybuilding. And I want you to know this, that I learned to love my fellow man and be willing to protect my fellow man and stop being so selfish and looking at me. I learned that firsthand in the military. Oftentimes when they take you through basic training, they tear you down and make you feel like zero. But then they start to build you back up. And they make you think at that point, you're the greatest fighting machine that's ever been designed. And with that mentality, the greatest fighting machine that's ever been designed, you can take that and transfer it over. Oh, greatest businessman that's ever been designed. Greatest bodybuilder that's ever been designed. It's in what direction you take it in. Greatest criminal that's ever been designed. We don't want to go that route, guys. Listen, I hope you like this video. Let you in a little bit more on who Ron Williams is. Love you guys. Until next time, share this with a friend. Give me a thumbs up. God bless you. What you want,